You know who we haven't talked about in a long time? Cole Caufield, one of, if not my absolute favorite NHL prospects affiliated with an NHL team today, the Montreal Canadiens first-round selection from the 2019 NHL Entry Draft, drafted 15th overall in a spot where nobody thought he would be, but in a spot that many Habs fans were very thankful to pick him up at. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of all the new stuff, let's go over a few updates that I actually haven't talked about on the channel, but Cole Caufield just won a few really nice awards for the NCAA's Big Ten Conference. He was named to the All-Rookie team, alongside of fellow NTDP graduates Cameron York, John Beecher, as well as other guys like Ben Myers, Jackson Lacombe, and Jared Moe. This is your all-rookie team for the Big Ten in the NCAA this past season, but that's not all, because Cole Caufield was also named to the first all-star team in general in the Big Ten. He's over here with Nate Sosesi, Patrick Kodorenko, who is a New York Rangers signee, Wyatt Kalynuk, Cole Holtz, and Strauss Mann. Now, I will say a lot of these names aren't super familiar to me. Obviously, I know a few of them, I've recognized a few of them, but not all of them are on my radar per se. But the big one that Cole Caufield was just recently awarded was the Big Ten's Rookie of the Year. Now, that is something that I think nobody is really surprised about, the fact that he was the Rookie of the Year amongst all Big Ten teams. That includes University of Wisconsin, University of Michigan, Michigan State, a few other teams, etc. But Cole Caufield is in a spot where he was first in all of Big Ten scoring amongst other Big Ten teams. He led the entire conference in points as a freshman, so it's not super surprising to see that he got the Rookie of the Year honors. But this article over here from Journal de Montreal, published a few days ago on May 15th, goes over an interview where Cole Caufield says that next up for him is the Hobey Baker. Before we get underway, we're going to translate this whole article into English because Cole Caufield is an English-speaking guy. Because these quotes are most likely taken in English, I don't want to read them in French, but Cole Caufield kicks things off and he's like, yeah, I would like to win the Hobey Baker. This is one of my main goals, he said when contacted on the phone. Now hold up, if you don't know what the Hobey Baker is, that is pretty much the Hart Trophy of the entire NCAA. The NCAA is made up of many different conferences, and there's upwards of like 40 to 50 teams, I think, in the entire National Collegiate Athletic Association's hockey system. And for the Hobey Baker to be awarded, it's done usually via fan vote initially. That's how the league is able to pool together all of the players who qualify, and eventually then it's the executives who decide, etc. I actually don't really know too much about that, but I do know that the fan voting is a part of it. But the Hobey Baker is usually awarded to the guy who was the most prolific player in general in the NCAA. It's not just given to the guy with the most points, it's given to the guy that most people can agree upon is the most important and the best player in the entire league. The most recent Hobey Baker Award winner was Scott Peronovich, the St. Louis Blues prospect, but before that you have other guys who are very important like Cale Makar, for example, Adam Gaudette, Jack Eichel, Johnny Gaudreau. There are some very, very good names on this list of Hobey Baker winners, and Cole Caufield says that he wants to do that next season. In fact, Caufield labels out exactly what it is he wants to do, production-wise. I would like to score a goal and get 2 points per game. Bro. Okay, I like it. I like it. Cole Caufield in this most previous season with the University of Wisconsin Badgers posted up a very, very even point per game rate. He had 36 games played, he had 36 points. He got 19 goals and 17 assists. As we talked about, he led the Big Ten in points amongst Big Ten competition, and in terms of rookie scoring, he was a very highly profiled player. But he wants to get A goal and 2 points a game. Okay, Cole Caufield wants to be a goal-a-game player, and he wants to be a 2 points per game player. Assuming he plays 36 games next season, he wants to get 36 goals, 36 assists for a total of 72 points. Okay, that's aiming very high. The most recent NCAA season just concluded, and the highest point producer was Jack Duggan for Providence, who had 52 points in 34 games played. Cole Caufield wants to get a point per game rating of 2, in a league where the highest points per game rating in the past season was 1.53. I love the confidence on this kid right here. If we take a look in the record books of the NCAA and take a look at the last time somebody was able to post upwards of 72 points, you gotta go all the way back to 2016, where Kyle Connor had 71 points in 38 games. That's not the same 72-point pace that Caufield was, nor is that 2 points a game, but that is what Kyle Connor did in his freshman NCAA season. Although I will say he was playing on a very stacked line with JT Compher and Tyler Mott. These guys were 3 of the top 4 point producers in the entire NCAA, Brock Besser being another one. If you want to find a 2 points per game rating though, you gotta go all the way back to 2014, where a junior Boston College player scored 80 points in 40 games played. He had 36 goals and 44 assists for a 2 points per game. His name was Johnny Gaudreau. That was 6 years ago. And Cole Caufield wants to be the next person to get upwards of 70-ish points, getting 2 points a game and a goal a game, like Johnny Gaudreau was able to pull off back in 2014. Now, it's kind of poetic, isn't it? Because Johnny Gaudreau is also a short guy. He is 5'9", Cole Caufield is 5'7", and Johnny Gaudreau is a guy who started up a mini revolution in the NHL of small guys, shifty guys being able to score. So, if Cole Caufield is able to follow up in the footsteps of a Gaudreau, then, that's gonna be awesome. I don't want to be just recognized as a marker. I want to be the one the coach can count on in all situations. Whether it's ahead and even outnumbered, I also want to be a leader, one who others can rely on when things are not going well, said Caufield. In fact, I want to do everything I can to help our team win. I'm not at all satisfied with the way our season ended. I felt a lot of anger. I want to correct the situation and take the team to another level. That's kind of true. Wisconsin was bad this year. They were last in the Big Ten, on a team that a lot of people expected to be so much better than last. We've mentioned this time and time again, but we will see how Caufield is able to do after seeing guys like K-Andre Miller and Alex Turcotte leaving, going to the NHL. On that note, Cole Caufield does say that, hey, I'm happy for Turcotte. He deserves it, and I support his decision 100%. But it did not influence my decision to stay. We're 2 different players. I think it will be beneficial in the long run for me. Now take a look at this. Here's one final dagger to showcase the confidence that Cole Caufield has. I still have the feeling that I could have made the jump next year, but I understood that there's no hurry. If you have to get there in the NHL, you're going to get there. Another year to gain strength and keep improving is not too much. Now maybe these quotes are not translated verbatim because they were probably spoken in English, translated into French for Journal de Montreal, and then retranslated back into English via the Google Translate machine, but I think the message that Caufield is trying to send is very clear here. That what Marc Bergevin told him when he met up, hey, you're good, you're really good, but go back to Wisconsin, spend another year, dominate things the way that we know you can, and then we'll see you in the NHL as a much more refined, much more lethal version of yourself. And I think if the Hobey Baker is in the crosshairs of Cole Caufield and what he wants to do, and if his target is to get 2 points a game and a goal a game, Oh boy, we could be in for a very, very special sophomore season from Cole Caufield. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what you think about Cole Caufield, social network 99, and bye.